More of our Commitment 2024 coverage now. President Joe Biden's visit today to Palm Beach County and elsewhere in South Florida for a day of campaign fundraising. Joining me now to give us some insight, our exclusive WPBF 25 News political analysts, former Congressman Ron Klein, former Florida House Majority Leader Adam Hasner. Adam, let me start with you. Give us a look behind the curtain here if you can. In general, what type of donor is this that's invited to this kind of private presidential campaign donation event?
Yeah, supporting a president at a private event like this is going to set you back a big sum of money. These are major donors, people that are writing $50,000, $100,000, $250,000 checks to support not just the president, but the DNC as well. And this is the same thing that happens on the Republican side. And so these are very exclusive events. You have to write big checks to get into them, and there's going to be a lot of folks there coming not just from South Florida, but from other parts of the country who happen to just be in South Florida or want to make the trip to South Florida to support the president or any candidate for that matter. And this is the time of year to do it when the weather's warm here and it's snowing all over the rest of the country.
Right, and if you're writing a check like that, you can afford the trip. Ron, so much of this is secretive. We know more about the president's fundraisers than, say, candidate Nikki Haley's fundraisers here in South Florida tomorrow, simply because he's the commander-in-chief and arrives in Air Force One. Besides these big chunks of cash, though, what's the impact of courting these mega donors on the success of these campaigns?
Well, what it does is it builds momentum, and there's success in numbers. The more people that give, whether it's large or small sums, because you'll hear a lot of the campaigns talk about small donor contributions as well. They say they got $1 million, $1, $100, $10 contributions, and that shows momentum as well. But it clearly shows that there's support. The president is really the only person on the Democrat side that's really running, so obviously it's his to take, but he has to get these people to stand behind him. And I think, obviously a race against Donald Trump is giving a lot of incentive and impetus for people to step up and say, yeah, we really want to support President Biden.
Well, Adam, let's talk about Donald Trump turning Florida red in 2016 and 2020, while Palm Beach County did vote for Joe Biden and kept 2 Democrats in the House. Then Ron DeSantis narrowly wins the county and cruising to re-election. Can you sort this out for us? Red, purple, blue, what is the county?
Yeah, Florida is no longer a battleground state, and you're going to see that because even President Biden came down today and only did fundraising events, not campaign events. There could be plenty of time for that if they can close the gap. The voter registration in Florida has changed drastically in the last 10 years. There used to be about 1 million more registered Democrats. Today, statewide, there are about 780,000 more registered Republicans. That means the Democrats are really going to have to think twice before they spend the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars that it's going to take to make Florida competitive.
Let me put Ron on the spot here, Adam. Let me put Ron on the spot before we go. Do the Democrats really believe they have a shot here, Ron, in 2024?
Yes, they do. And I appreciate what Adam's saying, but I think that, first of all, the largest group that is advancing in Florida are independent voters. And those people are clearly breaking toward a Biden. Now, it's a long way to go, of course, but that's where the real opportunity is. And because of the Senate race, and the Senate is divided, be 50-50 for all practical purposes, and the presidential race, absolutely Florida is going to be a state where both parties play hard and play to win.
All right, it's a little less than 10 months to go. We'll talk again about 100 times. Ron Klein, Adam Hasner, our exclusive political analyst. Thanks for joining us tonight, gentlemen. Appreciate it. For more of our Commitment 2024 coverage, download the WPBF 25 News app. There we have the latest information about the race for the White House as candidates campaign nationwide. They are really just getting started.